Here we are looking at the Howard Total Vise. It started as a gun maker's vise. And I'm going to bring the camera up so you can see me. And this whole system, it really is a system. You don't have to buy everything, but I did. It's all modular.
Oh, cool.
I can take this part out and put this in the bottom and sit down that low and work on something.
Oh, cool.
To get this out, there's a jam nut on the bottom. These tighten it on the top.
Okay.
And this jam nut makes it happen. So if I loosen this enough, I can take my neck right out. Now I'm going to swing the camera over a bit. You can see how the fact that it swivels like that is really great.
And can you keep it from spinning? Can you lock it into place with one of the set screws there?
Oh, sure. There's this one on the
Oh, that
side.
one. Oh, look at that. That's handy.
This locks the column at height. I could raise this way up, see?
Yeah, let's see that go up. Oh, cool. Oh, that's amazing. That's really nice.
You can remember, I'm not bolted to the floor.
Yeah.
I can stand up. I can see a lot of uses for standing up at this height and saving my back.
Yeah, man.
There's no doubt. Now I'm going to take the camera and point it that way. Tell me if you can see what I want you to see. So I have been probably working on this project for 4 months now. On and off, on and off. I saw this online, called the man, and I have spent days helping him make it so it was what I wanted. Now, this is the same deal. It will spin completely around. I wanted a jaw that was wide enough to put a whole guitar into,
Yeah.
like you see it right here. And that locks the column here. And I also wanted this, which he had also. This is not new, the tilting aspect. Can
Look
you
at
imagine
that.
how this would be for
Yeah.
the neck?
Yeah.
Or bringing it all the way down, and I can sit here in a chair, scrape binding.
Oh, that's pretty slick. So that whole thing is on and it spins up there too.
It also does this.
Holy moly.
And now if I put one of my stools underneath this shoulder with a foam block,
Yeah.
it's solid. I can scrape binding. Now if I want to take this out, I can go over and take the gun vise, the original, which I call a neck vise, take it out. Pretty soon I'm going to have a series of dots along the wall, and I'm going to spend the money on it, and it's going to have holes of that diameter. I'm going to plop these vices in it.
Cool.
There's another friend of mine that works with this, and I haven't had a chance to call him in all these months because I've been so busy trying to find time to work on this and the Corona. It's John Walker, who was he makes beautiful Gibson style guitars out in Montana, and he worked with Ren Ferguson at Gibson for a long time. And soon I'm going to call John. He knows I'm going to. I think he's outfitted his whole shop with it. He's a guitar builder.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to take this and move it over to the other vise. Just because I can. I'd be standing up at this point. Maybe I'd be fitting a neck.
Yeah.
But I don't have the ability.
Oh, that would be great for setting necks.
It's just perfect.
I mean,
I can lower it down.
I mean, I could already see like having that like that for pulling sandpaper on a neck set. Jeez. Like it's always rolling around on the bench and stuff.
And we're going to look at what is called the track system. It's bolted to my bench.
Uh-huh.
I have kind of a strange bench. It has a lip on the backside.
Yeah. So
it was a little tough for me to make this as strong as I want to. I've got big blocks of ductless fur behind here.
Okay.
Now what this does, it lets you to slide down.
Oh man.
Any place on your bench.
Oh man. Look at this. Look at this. Man, you know how, like I like having a vise on my bench, but like having it on the bench is like I'm always taking it off and sticking it somewhere else, taking it off to try to get more room in one certain corner of the bench. And this could be really cool. I could see instead of taking the vise off the bench, just moving it out of the way on the bench there. Oh, that's so slick. So those are two different vise heads, correct?
Oh yeah.
You want to?
This is the original. It doesn't open that wide. See?
Yeah.
So the original one was made with gun makers in mind. So now I can put my neck jig in this if I want to, because I can put the neck jig in my Stu-Mac stand on the angle vise.
Uh-huh.
But if I was standing out here, I need to get a wrench and tighten this up. But if I was standing here on the end of the bench, I could be working in the neck jig and bring it down like this.
Yeah.
Can you see that?
Yeah, I can.
I can do my jigging, bring it back up here and work on it. I just think that if this fella doesn't make it big in the guitar business, even with guitar factories, and I plan to help because I know lots of people in guitar factories.
Yeah. So you could put that in the other vise and have a lot of people leave their neck jigs in their vices. Can you stand that straight up and down so it's kind of out of the way?
I do.
Can you show me that really quick?
Yeah. I have enough room in my shop just to go throw this on the floor, or sometimes I hang it up. But with this, I can stick it in here in a second, and it's stored.
Yeah.
And it's not taking up any floor space.
You could put you could put it in that other vise and just tilt the vise, right? Like
sure, yeah. The other vise is the one that holds the guitar body.
Yeah.
And
so that's pretty slick. Is there anything else on here that you can show me? Is there any other?
Yeah. I'm going to take this old Martin out because I need to work on it. 37 single 017.
Cool.
In really good shape. I think I'm going to sell it. I've saved it to work on, and I reset the neck, and now I'm going to put the bridge back on. but I'm going to use the T.J. Thompson bridge corrector to take a kink out of the top.
Cool.
That will lower the action a little bit. This
Dad.
other vise, it won't tilt to the floor. Like, no, you have to have this first vise. Because this tilts.
Okay.
I do have, he made me what he, that can be added to this, and then it'll tilt in all directions. But that's probably more metal than I need.
Yeah.
And I'm happy with exactly what I have.
Well, so
now here's something else we can do.
So what's the one that is actually got the like semicircle slots in it? What's that particular thing called? Yeah.
That is the docking station.
Okay. So does he have one of those that actually has the post in it, so you could put that in the stand?
Not really.
Okay.
This goes in the track system.
Okay.
He can give me a 2-foot piece of track, and I can put it on the short end of the bench. So let's say, here's my next use for it. He has any number of these in different shapes.
Oh, wow.
I'm going to put my grinder on this one.
Yeah.
And he says, don't do that because he's got... I'm also going to take this one and put my little scroll saw on it.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to be able to move that scroll saw, take this over to the wall, and put it in a mount. Right now, the scroll saw is taking up a ton of space out in the other part of the shop.
Yeah.
Can you see it?
Yeah, that's a lot of space. And you know, wheels are kind of nice, but they're not that nice. They're always.
No, wheels are only because I didn't want to commit.
Yeah.
This still is only in a year, but this thing isn't very heavy. It's a cheap little thing, Central Machinery, but it works.
Yeah.
I can put that on that stand, and if you can imagine, it'll take me a day or so of cabinet work to make something that looks good that has holes in it. I can have my grinder docked along the wall, this saw, any number of things that you'd want to bolt to a plate.
Yeah.
We're not done yet.
But wait, there's more?
Yeah. And here's a quick docking station. This can go on any bench you want it.
Oh, yeah.
Forgot one.
Yeah, so that just... Yeah, anywhere.
You can take this over to another bench.
You just have threaded inserts in the end of your bench and...
This I just drilled for a 3/8 leg screw.
Yeah.
I just drilled it and tapped it with the screw. So now I can bring something that I want to work on over there. So now I'm back here. It could be anything I wanted. I have all kinds of gas. Yeah, I could put my soldering station on this and some soldering stuff instead of having it traipsing all over the bench.
Yeah.
I can put any of the other in this simple little dock, and I can have holes in a bunch of benches and move this from bench to bench.
Yeah.
Or have one. I mean, I might spend a lot of money on these. To me, if you spend $1,000, you get an awful lot of hardware from this guy.
Yeah, you know, I looked at his prices. They're very reasonable. I was
reasonable.
I was pretty surprised considering it's, you know, it's so usable.
To date, I have made 4 and taken off the jaws he made, just because the rubber that he had made marks on the fender neck.
Well,
this does everything I want to do.
Yeah.
I'm working back and forth yesterday between this bench over here and this one, and you can clamp. This is great. It's a fairly low vise at the bench compared to the red vise or the green vise, you know, the one from Europe that Stu Mack sells one. They call it the repair vise.
Yeah, that one sits up pretty tall.
And I have mounted them off the end down on a block. I have taken the repair vise and milled off as much metal as I could. But I always come back to the ultimate repair vise. I like the red repair vise. It's awfully tall and there's a lot of hunk of metal in it. This replaces that for me.
Yeah, you know, I haven't been able to use the ultimate repair vise very much, but in your shop just a little bit, and I like it, but I think I might like this one just a little bit better. But I'm not an expert on the total repair vise.
No. You can't get the tilt as much as the new vise, but the big deal is you can't buy these.
Yeah.
Until somebody makes one. If I found one of these, I'd pay $1,000 for it.
Yeah. That seems
worth.
It seems pretty fair.
I've had this for 30 years, and I have 3 of them.
Who made that vise back in the day?
This one was made in Texas. That's Michael Stevens' home, and Mike Stevens called me one day and said, "Man, you got to see this vise that the gun maker in town makes." Mm-hmm. And he sent one to Stu Mack, and I was flabbergasted.
Yeah.
And his had red urethane in it. And when it all came down to us buying them, I gave Mike back the one with the red urethane because it was his. He said no, and I gave it back because it's the coolest one. Then Kesey Kimball died, and it went away. Then, after a number of years, Stu Mack had them made in Korea or somewhere, but they just weren't as good, and we had a lot of rejects, and one day we just quit.
Yep.
So I'm thrilled to have 3, but now with the Howard Total Vise, if I didn't have this, I can still do everything that it does and more.
Yeah.
A lot more.
Well, and you know, with all due respect to your ultimate repair vise, it's just not mobile. You know, like you can't. It looks like it's even harder to get off the bench than the Stu Mack vise.
No, it's just a hole going through it. The lead screw. It's off in a second.
Oh, okay.
I dropped one on my foot at Christmas many years ago, and my foot grew up about 3 times.
Oh my God!
It was in the snow.
I can only imagine.
So,
but I gotta say, like being able to pull the vice heads out of the stand and stuff like that, that's pretty special. I mean, I can really see for myself switching over to this system for sure.
It's not switching over to it. It's in addition to anything you have.
Yeah.
And you probably don't already have anything like it.
No, you know, I have the red guitar vise, and it's okay. But you're right. It's really high. It's hard to find a good spot for it. Like it almost needs a whole bench dedicated to it.
It's got such a huge rail on the back of it.
Yeah.
It's a giant. There's the VersaVise. You know, that Frank Ford is so famous for using, and
yeah,
I've had one, and then I gave it to my brother just because I had these. The VersaVise is cool, but it's really It's not. There's nothing like this, and nothing like the Total Vise.
Yeah, I guess everybody at Griffin uses the VersaVice. Like those are on the end of every bench, and it's almost kind of required that you use them for every project.
It's really handy. That are tapered with a tapered neck in it.
Yeah,
it's really cool. I may get one back if my brother's not using it. They're being made again by Shop Fox. Everybody sells one. There's the original was the VersaVice. They're cool, and I just don't know if I'll get one because I'm so enthralled with Total Vise.
Yeah, I am pretty excited. I got to lock down my stand, but I'm thinking about picking up a stand from Howard too, because I really like that the raising and lowering part on it.
I love it. If I don't ever use all the length of that upper tube, I'll just cut a foot of it off.
Yeah.
And then it won't take so long to get it in and out.
Yeah.
We'll see, but am I on camera?
You are. Yep. You're framed pretty good. You might move over to the right just a little bit.
So this is just coming out from Ian and I on behalf of Jeff Howard, and I'm sold on it, and Ian's fastly getting sold. There's so much you can do. It takes time to do everything you can do with it.
Yeah.
Up with the right urethane, as far as I'm concerned, and Jeff will be putting that on his jaws instead of what he had when I first got it, because it just wouldn't grab the neck enough that it wouldn't move on me.
Yeah.
And
getting that right material, that's no small task.
This Ultimate Vise, I cannot. There's nothing quite like it as far as getting a neck in here and clamping it and working on threads, because you can clamp right close to the top and it's short. Actually, the Howard Vise has about this much width in it.
Yeah.
And much deeper at the bottom.
Yeah.
A lot of people will get a hold of Jeff Howard and say, hey man, I want one of those, because he's a hard-working guy. He's making this stuff.
Yeah. No,
he's welding it, he's painting it, and he likes to say it's made in the USA. He's a gun maker. I got to clean the shop big time, but I'm probably going to go downstairs and make a little teeny jack for Corey that'll go in a uke.
Oh, you got quite the jack operation going on.
It's still in. It's really. I want to make some that are presentation models.
Yeah.
I want to turn some walnut or Brazilian or curly maple and put some brass fittings.
I think that'd be cool, man. Just like I think if you dress them up and you do a little plating or something like that, I think it could be really cool.
They're cool without all that.
Yeah, I know.
It's when you need it, it doesn't take a lot of room and it does what you want.
Well, when I come out there next time, I'm gonna get you to sign mine so people will know where it came from.
I haven't shipped any yet, because now what I'm doing is I'll show you. Can you see that?
Yep.
What I need to do is drill a hole in the bottom. This hole is at an angle. And it's threaded. This is the original one, and I just got some nice stiff nylon 1/4 inch flexible, and I'm going to put a 632 threaded screw in there so you can screw into it, and that holds it while you're trying to position it. You can shove it around.
Oh, cool.
So it'll be a whole outfit.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the downside with most of those, is trying to get them into place and manipulate them.
This one, if you get a powerful magnet on the outside wrapped in cloth so as not to scratch, it stands right up.
Yeah.
Because they all have a little magnet in the bottom.
What's the tube you're using there? Is that conduit or what is that?
This here?
Yeah.
That's what comes from Stu Mack with the scissor jack.
Oh, no. I mean what's holding the What's the barrel of the jack there? Is that?
That's just aluminum tubing.
Yeah. Okay.
I've been making them out of nylon because it's easier to machine and drill.
Yeah.
It doesn't make the difference. I've got some brass. I think I'm going to make some out of brass just because it's so pretty.
Yeah.
But it tarnishes.
Are you taking videos of you making these things?
Not yet.
I think we should get some of that too.
Oh, we will. When I'm ready to really let everybody know if they want one. Here's a cool guitar, though.
Oh, that is cool.
It's European. I don't know exactly what it is. I just bought it.
Look at that peg head.
I know it.
Is that one piece plastic, or is that some kind of mosaic, or?
It's one piece plastic taped off and spray painted.
Oh, fancy.
But it has a little spray edge to it that melts out and looks cool.
That's cool.
I probably spent too much for it. But it's a spruce top.
Yeah.
I'm going to fix it up and sell it.
Cool.
I was into keeping these because they look cool, but anymore I've decided I'm going to get tools.
I think that's a good move. I need to do the same thing.
I don't need all guitars I don't play. I'm not even in a band anymore.
Yep.
I'm going to sell my Tone King. That old amp. This I got at the NAMM show in '93 from Mark Bartel, who made these Tone King amps.
Those were all the rage for a while. Is he still in business?
It's a bigger business now. I think he still has his name on it and started his own business.
Uh-huh.
No, they're going great guns.
Yeah.
I bought this one, then I bought the big Meteor, which I sold to Eric. This guitar kicks butt. This amp is just wonderful, but I don't need it.
You know, Buzzy's got a mess of those. He's pretty big into those.
Of Tone Kings, like the ones that look they're on legs.
Yeah. He's got one of those for sure. He's got one that looks like a little TV too.
Yeah, they're cool. But they were killer hand-wired amps.
Yeah.
And I walked through the NAMM show with my buddy from Fender, Albert Garcia, killer player. Grew up with Los Lobos guys.
Mm-hmm.
I said, help me find an amp. And we just walked all around and we tried a bunch of amps and we hit this one.
You were hanging out with Los Lobos?
Well, I know those guys, but Albert, my buddy Albert, was raised with them. They grew up Hispanics.
Yeah.
I know Cesar. He always said he's going to come out. He wants to come out and take some guitar repair lessons, but he's never done it.
Oh, man, that would be fun, wouldn't it?
They're great musicians.
Oh, my God, they're so good. They're so good. Like, I forget about them all the time, and then when I throw them on, I'm always like, oh, my God, you guys, you're just too good.
David Holdago.
I'm gonna. You know what? I just realized I haven't listened to him in a long time, and I'm gonna start cranking that up here today while I'm working.
Go do it. Okay.
Hey Dan, thanks for hanging out, man.
You're welcome. Thanks for doing it.
You bet. I'll talk to you later.
I bet we'll sell some. Bye.
All right. Take care.